Hey guys, I'm Ethan Moore from Stock and Supply. Some exciting news. A lot of you guys have been waiting for this. We now have the Coronet Envoy and Regent in our showroom to look at. Not available yet, but you can see them. Now everybody wants to know what the difference is between the Envoy and Regent versus the Herald. A lot of you guys are familiar with the Herald already. So first thing that we'll do, I'm going to talk about the things that are the same. So 1¼ inch 8 spindle thread on both machines. Both have Morse taper 2s on both sides. They both are electronic variable speed in reverse, and also both have swivel headstocks, which allow for outboard churning. The things that are different, we'll start with capacity. So Coronet Herald, 14-inch swing by 20-inch long, and 21-inch on the outboard. The Envoy is a 16-inch swing over the bed, 24-inch, and then on the outboard, if I swivel this, it'll go all the way up to 39 inches, which is absolutely gigantic. The Regent is very, very much like the Envoy in most ways. The only difference here with capacities, rather than a 16-inch swing, it's actually an 18-inch swing, so just a little bit bigger, which is nice. So if we're getting a little bit deeper into the headstock, if we look at the Coronet Herald, a nice heavy duty headstock. You got the controls on the outside here on top of the motor. The Envoy headstock is very, very similar. You can see it's just got a little bit more cast iron. You notice there's no controls up on the top of the motor. What they've done, which is one of my favorite features, is they have the control panel right here, and you can position that literally anywhere you want on the machine, which is especially useful if you are outboard churning. Then you don't have to reach around and churn anything on or off. The pulley system is just very similar here. You got a little magnetic door. You open that up. You got 3 different speeds for your torque settings. If you look right here, that's where my spindle lock is. It has a spindle lock that is very, very similar to the Herald. Now I should have mentioned this earlier. I did do an overview of the Herald lathe. If you haven't seen that overview, I would watch it because it'll give you a lot of information that is actually even current with this machine. So there's my spindle lock right there. It's a taper design. Because it is a taper design, very, very little play when you have that in there. Now to unlock it, really nice, you just pull it down like that and it's unlocked. Very, very simple. So that there is the headstock. Now, it does have a hole, much like the Herald, all the way through the headstock, 3/8 hole for vacuum chucking. And then it has a nice hand wheel on the outside. If we go to the Banjo, if you guys watched my video on the Herald, you would have heard how much the churners that were using it loved the Banjo on this machine. Extremely easy to unlock, extremely easy to lock, and it locks tight, which is really, really nice. With the Herald, you do have this outrigger accessory you can get if you are doing the outboard churning. That is available. Now, if we're going over the Envoy and the Regent, it's hard even for me to say this, but the Banjo on it is even better than the Herald. Locks even nicer and tighter than the Herald does. Very, very secure. A lot larger Banjo. Comes with a 12-inch tool rest versus the 8-inch of the Herald. There is not a the Banjo extension available for it. Not that you couldn't use the Banjo extension from the Herald there, but what they've done differently is they have this whole cast iron assembly here. Gives you a second Banjo, and this is a lot heavier duty for your outboard churnings. So this is an additional accessory that is available for it. And when you're done the outboard, you can swing this right out of the way, just like that, and continue to use your lathe like normal. The tailstock, very cool in its own right. I got some cords in the way here. It's a lot heavier than the Herald, you'll notice. The other big thing is this tailstock is self-ejecting, which is a really, really nice feature that the Herald, I wish it had, but it doesn't. The other thing, compared directly to the Herald, if we look over at the Herald tailstock here, it has a thread that comes out the back here, which is fine, but in certain applications that can wrap your knuckles a little bit. What they've done here, this is all integrated on the inside, there's nothing that gets in your way here. Just a nice, great big hand wheel there that locks up. Rather than a ratchet handle locking it back and forth, which I don't think is bad, this Envoy, as well as the Regent, has a cam lock handle that will lock both directions, which is kind of a nice feature there too. Locks up like that. So yeah, big fan of the Banjo. It's definitely an upgrade from the Herald. Not that there's anything wrong with the way the Herald is designed. Now, if we step back a little bit and we look at the legs, the Herald doesn't come with the legs. You can buy them extra. You can put it on a bench if you want. The legs are the tubular steel legs there. That can be filled with sand or lead, which adds a lot of weight, which is nice. The Envoy and the Regent, they come with legs, cast iron legs, extremely heavy duty legs that you can put a shelf on, which is really, really nice. I like the way that it's designed, nice widely displayed, and they come with the rubber feet in the bottom to adjust it and also absorb some vibration on it. Now, motor size. The motor size on the Herald, very, very nice for a midi lathe. It's a 1 horse at the spindle. So what that means is it's approximately 1.25 horses. Now, the Envoy is a 1.5 horses at the spindle. The Regent is 2 horse at the spindle. They measure the horsepower ratings a little bit different in the UK. It's all measured at the spindle rather than directly at the motor. So a little bit truer context or actual power that you're going to get. So definitely more power with the Envoy and the Regent. The Envoy, the other main difference between it and the Regent is it is a 110 volt versus the Regent is 220 volts. The Regent's got just that much more power. It can't be run off a standard 110 volt outlet like the Envoy can. So Envoy, biggest lathe you can get that'll plug into the wall. The Regent, it's got a lot more power. If you're really serious about bowl churning, it's great for coring and things like that. So yeah, both all the Herald, the Envoy, the Regent are all very, very nice machines. Going to the Envoy versus the Herald is definitely an upgrade, as you guys can see in this video here. The Envoy and the Regent are also available with bed extensions, which will bring it up to 36 inches. Sorry, no. They'll bring it up to 42 inches with the bed extension. With the Herald, it'll bring it up to 36 with the bed extension. So yeah, that's kind of a brief little overview there. It does have forward and reverse on the control panel here. And then you got your knob right there for your speed control. So very, very quiet machine as well. So if anyone else has any questions on the machines, you can email me at info@stockhamsupply.com or just comment on the video here. And if you want to see future videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell. Also, add us on Instagram at EthAnswers or at Stockham Supply. Thank you much.